Thousands of years ago, before the first Meowan traveled through the Weft and found refuge on the planet Eldara, there lived the Elders. You don't really want to hear this, do you? Surely you will figure it out on your own. I mean, you look very smart and very attractive. And also very late. Seems the first scene has already started without us. Oh dear. Yes, fuck all the backstory. The current story is waiting.
Terms and conditions. All employees must agree to the following terms and conditions. End-user license agreement. Thank you for playing Ledgerbound. We've added this end-user license agreement in order to clarify our rights as developer and publisher, and your rights as a player. It's lengthy, but legally important for us to have. As always, please feel free to contact us at community@omnimegasupercorp.com if you have any questions about this agreement. Important, all paragraphs are written in italics, are presented as developer comments to better explain our thought process behind certain sections and why they're important for us to include. These paragraphs are for context only and should not be considered part of this legal document or binding in any way. Welcome to Ledgerbound, a video game presented to you by Omnimega Supercorp Inc. Before accessing and playing the game, using the related services, or accessing any game-related websites, edit the game related services and the websites here and after the game. Please read this agreement carefully. Please note that by accessing and playing the game, you agree to abide by this end-user license agreement, and a legally binding agreement is created between the Omnimega Supercorp and you, whether or not you are a registered player of the game. If you are an end user based in the United States, certain provisions of the agreement specifically apply to you. For example, sections 16, 17, and 18, under which you are to agree to arbitrate certain claims instead of going to court, and agree not to bring class action claims. If you are an end user based in the European Economic Area or in the United Kingdom, certain provisions of the agreement specifically apply to you. For example, the right of withdrawal as stated in section 6. If you do not agree to this end-user license agreement, please do not access and play the game. Omnimega Supercorp reserves the right to temporarily or permanently disable access to the game for anyone who violates this end-user license agreement. Omnimega Supercorp may disable access to the game at its discretion and may do so without notice. Ooh, scary. Acceptance. This end-user license agreement, EULA, is a legal agreement between you, end user or user, and Omnimega Supercorp Incorporated, Omnimega Supercorp Publisher. This EULA governs your use of the game, whether or not you are a registered end user of the game or by Omnimega Supercorp. Please note that by accessing and or playing the game, you agree to abide by and be bound by this end-user license agreement. Omnimega Supercorp owns or controls all intellectual property rights in and to the game and permit you to play the game only in accordance with end-user license agreement. Your playing of the game constitutes your acceptance of this end-user license agreement. If you do not agree to this end-user license agreement, please do not access and play the game. The game, Ledgerbound, is a hilarious, narrative-driven, tactical RPG filled with all your favorite epic fantasy activities, battling evil enemies, filing out paperwork, and rescuing your company from financial ruin, pursuing HR-approved relationships, and more. Just remember, saving the world is great and all, but it's even more important to prioritize quest-life balance. Privacy policy. 3. Privacy policy. For information regarding how Omnimega Supercorp handles the information you transmit through the game, please visit a privacy policy at https://www.ledgerbound.com/privacy-policy. 4. Delivery of products and services, updates and new releases, age requirement, security review. Our commentary, in italics. As part of our services, we may update the game to provide a better experience and fix issues. We cannot guarantee the game will work as expected if you do not update the game. Subject to applicable laws, Omnimega Supercorp may from time to time update or otherwise modify the game electronically, or require the user to install updates, patches, or fixes to the game. Updates may change the game's terms, conditions, features, items, mechanics, or any other element of the game. If you fail to install the new release when required, Omni Mega Supercorp will not be responsible for your inability to play the game, and you shall not be entitled to receive a refund or any form of compensation. Omni Mega Supercorp may provide new releases or otherwise enhance the game at any time, in its sole discretion with obligation to you. Any such new release or other enhancement of the game may change the game's terms, conditions, features, items, mechanics, or any other element of the game. You may download information, image, artwork, video, text, video, audio, pictures, and other material from the game to the extent necessary to access and use the game for the purposes of this agreement. However, you must not otherwise copy, reproduce, republish, post, transmit, display, perform, distribute, modify, translate, reverse engineer, reverse compile, or decompile, disassemble, or create any derivative work from any of those materials or any other portion of the game without prior written approval. You may post recordings of you playing parts of the game on sites like twitch.com, youtube.com, etc. You must be 13 years or older to be entitled to access and play the game. This game is not intended for children under the age of 13. Children under the age of 13 may not access and play the game. If you are at least 13 years old but under the 18 years of age, you need parental consent to access and play the game, and any activities in the game must be under legal responsibility of the parents. Any registration, use of, or access to the game by anyone over 13 or by anyone who is under 18 acting without parental consent is unauthorized, unlicensed, and in violation of this EULA. If you are a parent or guardian, you permit your minor child or legal ward to use your account to access and use the game. You agree to the terms and conditions of this agreement on your behalf and on behalf of your minor child or legal ward, and you understand and agree that you will be responsible for all the use of your account by our minor child or legal ward, regardless of whether you authorize that use. You hereby confirm that you are at least 18 years of age, you are of the age of majority in the jurisdiction from which you can access the game, and you are an individual who can form a legally binding contract. We reserve the right to conduct a security review at any time to validate your identity and age for potential breach of this agreement and of applicable law. You hereby authorize us and our agents to make any inquiries of you and to use and disclose to any third party any information we consider necessary to validate the information you have provided or are required to provide us under this agreement. To assist in the security reviews, we agreed to provide such information or documentation as we may reasonably request from time to time in our sole discretion. If, after conducting a severe review, we determined in our sole discretion that you have not complied with this agreement or that you have not provided timely, satisfactory responses to inquiries made in the security review, we may terminate or suspend your access to the game. 5. Indemnification. Your access to and or playing of the game constitutes your agreement to defend, indemnify, and hold harmless Omni Mega Supercorp, its parents and affiliates, licensors and partners, the platform/service providers, and from their respective members, employees, contractors, officers, and directors from and against any actions, claims, demands, liability, and expenses, including reasonable attorney fees arising out of your use or misuse of the game, including related services by a third party. 6. Termination. Our commentary. As much as we love our game and never want to stop making it better, we have to be realistic and understand that everything has an end. Our intent is not to abuse this, and this is just here to solve potential future situations we can visualize. For example, a third party that stops providing us with their services and does not offer our game anymore to end users, or even if we do not want to continue providing the game on a specific platform for our own reasons. This section's intentions is mainly to cover that it costs money to run a game, and in the worst case scenario where it does not make sense financially to keep the game active, we may have to stop making the game available. We cannot run the game for eternity. Subject to applicable laws, Omni Mega Supercorp may terminate your access to the game and any rights which you receive under these terms and use under the following conditions. 1. Omni Mega Supercorp ceases to provide, publish, or otherwise grant access to the game to the users generally. 2. If you violate any of the terms set out in this agreement. 3. If you cancel your account, delete the game, reject these terms of use or other material game terms and conditions, or otherwise indicate your termination of the use of the game. If what you have done can be remedied, Omni Super Megacorp may, in its sole discretion, give you a reasonable opportunity to do so. Subject to applicable laws, this end-user license agreement is effective until amended by Omni Mega Supercorp in its sole discretion. Omni Mega Supercorp may, but is not obligated to, communicate such termination to you in any of the following manners. 1. In a notice in the game. 2. Via electronic mail. 3. In this end-user license agreement. Or 4. In another manner that Omni Mega Supercorp deems suitable to inform you of the termination. If Omni Mega Supercorp terminates the game, you will not receive a refund of paid fees. In the event of any termination here under sections 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24 of these terms of use will survive termination. 7. Disclaimers and limitations of liability. Our commentary making a video game is not easy, and making it perfect is basically impossible. We are always trying to improve the game when we try to fix issues that are found. That is why we ask you to accept that the game may have imperfections. Do not worry though, you just need to inform us of any bugs you may find, and we will do our best to get right on it. Subject to applicable laws, the game is provided by Omni Mega Supercorp on an as-is and as-available basis to the fullest extent permissible by applicable law. Omni Mega Supercorp disclaims all warranties, whether express or implied, including but not limited to the warranties of merchantability, fitness, or for a particular purpose and non-infringement. Subject to applicable laws without limiting the foregoing, Omni Mega Supercorp makes no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied. 1. As to the game, the information, content, materials, etc. included therein. 2. That the game will be functioning continuously, uninterrupted, securely, or error-free. 3. As to the accuracy, reliability, or currency of any information, content, products, and services provided. Or 4. That the game, servers, platforms, or emails sent from or on our behalf of Omni Mega Supercorp are free of viruses, scripts, Trojan horses, worms, or other harmful components. The operation and functions of the game may be interfered with by numerous factors outside the control of Omni Mega Supercorp, and to the maximum extent permitted by applicable law. Under no circumstances shall Omni Mega Supercorp, its parents, affiliates, licensors, partners, and/or platinum service providers, collectively Omni Supercorp, for purposes of this Section 7 and the following Section 8, be liable for any damage as a result from the use of or inability to use or play the game. Omni Mega Supercorp takes no responsibility for the accuracy, safe deliveries, and functionality of SMS, texting services, etc. to the maximum extent. SMS-texting services, etc. to the maximum extent permitted by applicable law. Under no circumstances shall Omni Mega Supercorp be liable for any indirect, incidental, special, or consequential damages arising from the use of the game, even if you have been advised of possibility of such damages to the maximum extent permitted by applicable law. Omni Mega Supercorp's entire liability under any provision of this end-user license agreement shall be limited to the amount actually paid by you for the game during the calendar year which the claim is made. Special disclaimer and limitation of liability for products and services. Omni Mega Supercorp does not warrant or guarantee or assume responsibility for any product or service advertised or offered by a third party in the game or in relation to the game through the platforms or any hyperlinked website or feature in any banner or other advertising. And Omni Mega Supercorp will not be a party to or in any way responsible be responsible for monitoring any transaction between you and third-party providers of products or services. 9. Seizure, warning, motion settings, etc. In rare instances, some users may experience seizures when exposed to certain light patterns or flashing lights in the game or advertising related to the game. Exposure to certain light patterns or backgrounds on a video monitor or virtual reality, augmented reality headset / glasses / equipment may induce an epileptic seizure, motion sickness, and even in persons who have no history of prior seizures or epilepsy. Omni Mega Supercorp takes no responsibility for such effects in the game and advertising related to the game and end results thereof, and you are accessing and playing the game and seeing the advertising at your own risk. Nor does Omni Mega Supercorp take any responsibility for motion sickness, any balance problem, etc. that may occur from playing of the game or seeing the advertising, etc. Trademarks and game marks. The names, logos, characters, brands of products and services names appearing in the game and related services are trademarks/service marks or registered trademarks/service marks of Omni Mega Supercorp or third parties, the respective holders. The use of any such trademark, service mark, or any confusingly similar marks without express written consent of the respective holder is strictly prohibited. 11. Ownership of the game and related content. All title ownership rights and intellectual property rights in and to the game and any and all copies thereof, including all computer code, title, text, images, animations, artwork, audio, video, designs, sounds, themes, objects, characters, character names, studio stories, dialogue, concepts, and trademarks. The graphical design of the user interface, the look and feel of the user interface, all modifications, customizations, and additions thereto are owned by Omni Mega Supercorp and its license and/or licensors. All rights are reserved except as expressly stated in this end-user license agreement. This game may contain certain licensed materials, and Omni Mega Supercorp, its affiliates, and/or licensors may protect their rights in the event of any violation of this end-user license agreement. Our names and logos are our trademarks, and you must not use any of them without our consent. 12. Takedown notice. Omni Mega Supercorp respects the intellectual property of others and expects our end users and third parties do so as well. If Omni Mega Supercorp is notified of or discovers any potential infringing content, it will disable access or remove such content without undue delay. You shall confirm and cooperate with such removals. If you have a well-founded reason to believe that content in or accessible through the game is in violation of copyright or trademark rights, you shall be immediately notify Omni Mega Supercorp of such use. If such a request is made by a third party claiming to be the rightful owner or licensor of the content in questions, you shall advise the third party to file a competent takedown notice, including the information set out below. A statement identifying in sufficient detail the work or intellectual property you claim that has been infringed, or hyphen, if multiple works are covered by this takedown notice, hyphen, you may also provide a representative list of the works you claim have been infringed, semicolon, hyphen, restart, I gotta restart already. A statement identifying in sufficient detail the work or intellectual property you claim has been infringed, or hyphen, if multiple works are covered by this takedown notice, hyphen, you may also provide a representative list of the works you claim have been infringed, semicolon. A statement identifying in sufficient detail the work, content, or intellectual property you claim to be infringing, and if possible, its location within the game so that the material can be located. A statement that you have a good faith belief that use of the content or material identified in the takedown notice is not authorized by the owner or intellectual property, an agent of the owner, or applicable law, semicolon. A statement that the information in the takedown notice is accurate and under penalty of perjury, that you are the owner or are authorized to act on the behalf of the owner of the work or intellectual property that is allegedly being infringed, semicolon, and sufficient contact details for the person making the complaint, including an address, telephone number, and email address, as well as the physical or electronic signature of the person making the complaint. All such personal data to be handled according to our privacy policy. Any such takedown notice must be submitted to Omni Mega Supercorp at entity@omnimegasupercorp.com. Omni Mega Supercorp will respond to any claims of copyright infringement or other infringement committed using the game that are reported through a completed takedown notice. After reviewing a takedown notice, Omni Mega Supercorp will take whatever action in its sole discretion it deems appropriate, including removal of the challenged material from the game or disabling access to it. Omni Mega Supercorp may notify the alleged infringer of your claim, and you expressly authorize Omni Mega Supercorp to do so. 13. Prohibited use. Our commentary italics. We hope you enjoy playing the game, but we require that you respect other players' enjoyment. These guidelines are the required rules you must follow when engaging with other players. End of italics. You agree to abide by all applicable laws and regulations when using or accessing the game. Your continued use or access to the game and right to play the game is subject to proper conduct, without limiting Omni Mega Supercorp's right to control the game's environment and the conduct of the end users within that environment. Omni Mega Supercorp strictly prohibits the following practices that Omni Mega Supercorp has determined to detract from the overall user experience. 1 parentheses, use, post, upload link, modify the game or altering any representation of the game to include any sexually explicit, harmful, threatening, abusive, defamatory, obscene, hateful, racially or ethnically offensive languages, images, or content. 2 parentheses, advertising the intent to or commit the act of buying, selling, trading, sharing, or transferring access to the game, semicolon. 3 parentheses, creating, using, or providing any emulator or other site where the game may be played, and you will not post or distribute any emulators or other software tools which will allow for the game to be emulated or played on another basis than the one provided by Omni Mega Supercorp without the express written permission of Omni Mega Supercorp. 4 parentheses, downloading, extracting, or otherwise accessing or using third-party content related to the game through game files or game directory, especially for the files that are intentionally made unreadable, parentheses, .tde file extension, parenthesis, unless granted explicit consent by the relevant rights owner. 5 parentheses, using the game for user-created content in a manner not compliant with applicable laws, terms, and conditions contained herein and any applicable guidelines, semicolon. 6 parentheses, you may not modify any part of the game or client's servers in any such a way as to promote any other of the prohibited uses hereunder, including using harmful or offensive material, semicolon. 7 parentheses, you may not use the game for any illegal purpose or to arrange for the exchange or transfer of any pirated or illegal software in the game. You may not organize nor be a member of any pledges or groups within the game that are based on or espouse any racist, sexist, anti-religious, anti-ethnic, anti-gay, or any hate-mongering philosophies, semicolon. 8 parentheses, you will not attempt to interfere with, hack into, or decipher any transmissions to or from the servers or platforms running the game, semicolon. 9 parentheses, disrespecting the rights of others and their rights to play and enjoy the game. You may not defraud, harass, or threaten other players, semicolon. 10 parentheses, you may not post or communicate any player's real-world game information, parentheses, name, address, account name, etc., parentheses, in the game, on the websites, or in any other form or media, or make public anyone's identification documents or sensitive financial information, or post such information in the game or other permitted websites, semicolon. 11 parentheses, you may not harvest or collect email addresses or other contact information of other users from the game by electronic or other means, for example, for the purposes of sending unsolicited emails or other unsolicited communications, semicolon. 12 parentheses, you may not solicit personal information from anyone under 18 or solicit passwords or personally identifying information for commercial or unlawful purposes, semicolon. 13 parentheses, you may not impersonate another person, Omni Mega Supercorp, their representatives, employees, consultants, partners, etc., misrepresent your affiliation with an entity or person, hide or attempt to hide your identity, or otherwise conduct fraud. 14 parentheses. Otherwise, use the game in any manner that breaches the terms and conditions of the end user license agreement or the privacy policy. Omni-Mega Supercorp and the platform/service providers can close down your account and stop your access to the game for any reason at any time without notice, including but not limited to if we believe that you violate this EULA, the privacy policy, or our policies. 14. Electronic communications. When you play the game, interacts with us through social media, gaming platforms, game stores, gaming devices, etc., or send emails to us. You're communicating with us electronically. You consent to receiving communications from us electronically and communicate with us electronically. We will communicate with you by email or by posting notices in the game or by any other means Omni-Mega Corp signs suitable. You agree that all agreements, notices, disclosures, and other communications that we provide to you electronically, whether by email, posting notice in the game, or otherwise, satisfy any legal requirement that such communications be in writing. 15. Disputes, italics, our commentary. The last thing we want is to have any issue with you. The last thing we want to have is any issue with you. We love our community and we would like for it to resolve any problems it may have directly with us first. We are always wanting to hear your complaints and will try to solve your problems the best way we can. End of italics. Our goal is to resolve disputes fairly and quickly. For all disputes against Omni-Mega Supercorp, you agree to first contact Omni-Mega Supercorp and try to resolve the dispute informally by sending a written notice of the claim, parentheses, quotation, notice, end of quotation marks, into parentheses, to Omni-Mega Supercorp. The notice must be sent by email with confirmation or receipt. The notice must, parentheses, parentheses, include your name, your residential address, and email address, and slash or phone number, semicolon, parentheses, parentheses, describe the type and reason for the claim, semicolon, and parentheses, C, parentheses, specify the specific compensation sought. If you and Omni-Mega Supercorp cannot agree on a solution to the dispute within 60 days of receiving such a notice, either party may initiate legal proceedings in accordance with sections 16 through 20. 16. Arbitration. Subject to applicable laws, any claim excluding claims for injunctive or other equitable relief, parentheses, or the total amount of the award sought by either party is less than $10,000 shall be resolved via a binding non-appearance-based arbitration initiated through the American Arbitration Association, parentheses, quotations, AAA, parentheses, into quotations, parentheses. The AAA rules are available online at www.adr.org or by calling the AAA at 1-800-778-7879. In any such arbitration, the parties and AAA must comply with the following rules, parentheses, parentheses, the arbitration be conducted by telephone, online, and slash or be solely based on arbitration, semicolon, parentheses, parentheses, the arbitration shall not involve any personal appearance by the parties or witnesses unless otherwise mutually agreed by the parties, semicolon, parentheses, C, parentheses, the arbitrator may seek reward, injunctive or declaratory relief only in favor of the individual party seeking relief and only to the extent necessary to provide relief warranted by that party's individual claim, semicolon, and parentheses, D, parentheses, any judgment on the award rendered by the arbitrator may be entered in any court of competent jurisdiction. Nothing in this agreement shall prevent either party from seeking remedies in small claims court of competent jurisdiction. However, Omni-Mega Supercorp may apply to any court of a competent jurisdiction for interim protection or equitable relief, such as an interlocutory vacuatory or interim injunction. "17. The right to refrain from arbitration. You may choose to waive this arbitration term, and neither you nor the publishers can demand that the other party take part in arbitration proceedings. In order to refrain, you must inform the publishers in writing about this within 30 days of obtaining notice of this arbitration section. You must provide the name and addresses, the email address associated with your game account if you have one, and a clear wording that you want to waive the arbitration terms. All requests to refrain from arbitration must be sent to Omni-Mega Supercorp, 5264 Satsuma Avenue, Unit 16, North Hollywood, California, 91601, USA, and marked waiver arbitration. If you do not waive this arbitration section, it will continue to apply to you. 18. Class action waiver. Subject to applicable laws, you agree that any claims must be made in your individual capacity and not as a plaintiff or class member in any purported class or representative proceeding. 19. Claims. Subject to applicable laws, you and Omni-Mega Supercorp agree that any cause of action arising out of or related to these terms of use must commence within 1 year after the cause of action accrues, otherwise such cause of action is permanently barred. 20. Governing law. Subject to applicable laws, this agreement shall be governed by and construed in accordance with the laws of the state of California, United States, without giving effect to any principles of conflicts of law. 21. Severability. If for any reason any provision of this end-user license agreement shall be held invalid or unenforceable in whole or in part in any applicable jurisdiction, such provision shall, as to such jurisdiction, be ineffective only to the extent of such invalidity or unenforceability without in any manner affecting the validity or enforceability thereof in any other jurisdiction or the remaining provisions hereof in any jurisdiction. 22. Modification. Omni-Mega Supercorp reserves the right at its discretion to update or revise this end-user license agreement at any time. Omni-Mega Supercorp will post such changes either in the game, on forums related to the game, or on the game's website, and these additional or revised terms will become part of this end-user license agreement. Please check this end-user license agreement document periodically for changes. You can be playing the game constitutes your binding acceptance of the end-user license agreement, including any changes or modifications by Omni-Mega's Corp as permitted above. 23. Export controls. This game is subject to all applicable export laws and restrictions. This game may not be re-exported, downloaded, or otherwise exported to (parentheses) or downloaded or installed by a national or resident of (parentheses) any country to which Canada or the United States maintains a embargo, or any person to or entity specifically designated on a control list maintained by Canada or the United States. You represent a warrant that you are not located in, under the control of, or a national resident of any such country or on any such list. 24. Entire agreement assignment. This end-user license agreement constitutes the entire agreement between the parties and with respect to the subject matter thereof, and supersedes all previous written or oral agreements between the parties. With respect to such subject matter, Omni-Mega Supercorp may assign its rights under this end-user license agreement without notice to you. You may not assign your rights under this end-user license agreement. Last updated August 7, 2026. By affixing the remark above, the undersigned attests under penalty of Dragonfire per Article 7, Section 3 of the Adventurers Employment Accord that all incident, result, and magical mishaps herein are reported to the best of one's memory and without enchantment-induced embellishment. Oh, that's it. That is interesting. This thing, I'm not a lawyer by any means, so do not take this as any kind of advice, because I don't know what I'm talking about, and do not trust me. I just read the license agreement. I do not hold myself liable for any misunderstanding of these, and it is purely an attempt to just read out the terms and conditions with no penalty to myself. Okay, I want to read this one. May I waive this arbitration term, then neither you nor the publishers can demand that the other party take part in arbitration proceedings. In order to refrain, you must inform the publishers in writing about this within 30 days of obtaining notice of this arbitration section. You must provide the name and addresses, the email address associated with your game account. Yeah, this seems pretty hard. 30 days. That does not seem like a very long time. I mean, I don't know how arbitration works, but you know, all right, I'm playing the game now. I guess I'll probably just sped through that. But hey, maybe there'll be a separate video if you want to listen to me read out the terms and services at a normal speed. Except
You did enjoy that, didn't you? Good, because there are more. These ones are optional, but you ought to read them, I assure you.
oh, you asshole! Oh my god, I fucking hate you. I don't want to read. Oh, never mind. Terms and conditions continued. All employees must agree to the following terms and conditions. Welcome to Ledgerbound. Please read the following end-user license agreement, parentheses, quotations, EULA, quotations, parentheses, carefully. The following terms, parentheses, quotations, terms, quotation mark, parentheses, constitute an agreement, parentheses, quotation agreement, into quotation, parentheses, between, parentheses, quotation between, parentheses, quotation, parentheses, Omni Mega Supercorp, parentheses, quotation, Omni Mega Supercorp, into quotation, quotation, OMSC, quotation, quotation, we, into quotation, quotation, us, into quotation, quotation, the corporation, quotation, quotation, the corp, into quotation, quotation, bracket, redacted, end of bracket, into quotation, parentheses, and you, parentheses, quotation, you, into quotation, quotation, employee, into quotation, parentheses, regarding the installation, parentheses, quotation, installation, into quotation, parentheses, and, parentheses, quotation, and, into quotation. Shut up, I'm reading the terms of service. I'm reading the fucking terms of service. I'm trying to read the terms of service, Peyton! Ah, damn, bro. Just let a man read a term of service. Where was I at? And, parentheses, quotation, and, into quotation, parentheses, operation, parentheses, quotation, operation, into quotation, parentheses, of Ledgerbound, parentheses, quotation, the software product, into quotation, parentheses. Please ensure that you have read the following terms in full and that you understand the legal obligations, implications, imitations, and insinuations to which you agree by continued use of this software product. Please make sure that you have considered, pondered, wrestled with, and resolved the extent to which you believe that it is truly possible to read and understand anything in full, whether all comprehension is merely partial, with the discrepancies in the ways in which you and other entities perceive and process the world becoming clear only in retrospect, and normally through the cold, harsh lens of acrimony. For the purposes of this agreement, it is acceptable for you to agree that you pretend to understand it, and we, Omni Mega Supercorp, will pretend that we do not understand that you are pretending to understand. If you do not agree to these terms and conditions, do not download, install, lick, or launch this software product. Do not imagine yourself operating the software project. Do not imagine your neighbors operating the software product. Do not imagine your neighbors, or stop imagining your neighbors. 1. Installation. You may install the software product on one parentheses 1 parentheses device parentheses quotation device into quotation parentheses that is under your control to the extent that you believe that anything is under your control. Please be aware that the software product is licensed, not sold. The corporation assigns you one parentheses license to install one parentheses copy of the software product for private or privately exhibitionistic use only. The corporation may at any time and for any reason revoke your license to run the software product. In the event of such termination, you will be required to destroy any copies of the software product presently in your possession. You may at any time be required to prove the destruction of the software product, document the process, be creative. The corporation is especially intrigued by explosives, Viking funerals, and black holes. 2. Scope of license. You must operate the software product only on software designed for the operation of products. You must not attempt to reverse engineer, decompile, hack, dissect, autopsy, or vivisect the software product. Do not gawp at its insides like you're a Victorian surgeon viewing anatomy as entertainment. You must not, through action or inaction, intentionally, unintentionally, or uncertain of your level of intentionality, parentheses, because fundamentally you should be deeply skeptical of any human who claims that they can accurately fathom the internal workings of their own mind, export or cause to be exported to the software product. You must not rent, lease, license, sublicense, sublicense, or sublicense the software product. You must not operate copies of the software product which you believe to be rented, leased, licensed, sublicense, sublicense, or sublicense. You would ideally take a relevant educational course which empowers you to spot the telltale signs of software products being rented, leased, licensed, sublicense, sublicense, or sublicensed. You must not alter or remove notices of copyright assertion nor insert copies of notices. You must not adapt the software product into a successful off-Broadway musical. You must not, while operating the software product, reflect upon whether spending significantly more time thinking about what you can't do than what you can is an unhealthy frame through which to see the world, and which might eventually lead to a strain of chronic pessimism. 3. Privacy policy. Our privacy policy is that our policy is private. 4. Software updates. Momni Mega Supercorp may at any time and for any reason make reasonable or unreasonable updates to the software product. You agree that the corporation may remotely at any time deploy updates which may or may not be perceived as improvements. Not all change is progress. Sometimes change is just change until things are different, until they no longer feel familiar, and you experience nostalgia for the thing you remembered enjoying. You may feel a sense of loss and want to grieve for the thing it once was that you used to love and that you still remember, but that will feel absurd with the thing in front of you updated. Updates to the software product may create an eventuality that older hardware products may become unable to operate the software product. You are responsible for the device, parentheses, quotation device, into quotation parentheses, upon which the software product is operated. You are also responsible for your own choices. Omni Mega Supercorp does not guarantee that technical support will be provided, available, or relevant. Omni Mega Supercorp doesn't dictate terms of your life, only the aspects of your life relating to the software product. You are a free to enter into legally binding, internally enforceable agreements about the installation and operation of software products. 5. Mature content. This software product has been evaluated by relevant and irrelevant agencies to be unsuitable for immature audiences. The software product contains themes and language which some may find disturbing, disappointing, or arousing, or all three at once. If you are aware that you have a pre-existing sensitivity to such content or emotions, it is recommended that you either consult a qualified professional or keep it to yourself. 6. Flashing images. The software product includes a series of flashing images that, in rare instances, may induce empathy, regret, introspection, or ennui. even in those who haven't experienced it before. If you find yourself questioning your life choices or reflecting on tension between your corporate and interpersonal priorities, don't. Omni Mega Supercorp accepts no responsibility for any realization or increase or decrease in self-awareness that may occur during or immediately after the operation of the software product or exposure to marketing materials for the software product. 7. Intellectual property. Omni Mega Supercorp asserts ownership of all the intellectual property present in the software product, including but not limited to character designs, character names, character personalities, location designs, location names, location personalities, storylines, conversations, musical, artistic, and bureaucratic compositions. Do not imagine the software project with other character designs, character names, character personalities, location designs, location names, location personalities, storylines, conversations, musical, artistic, and bureaucratic competitions. That would be a different software product. 8. Fan art / user-generated content. Users are permitted to create derivative or surprisingly original or erotic works of fan art, which include elements of the intellectual property contained within the software product. The rights to such elements belong to Omni Mega Supercorp and shall continue to belong to Omni Mega Supercorp within any user-generated content. You authorize Omni Mega Supercorp to share, display, modify, and or promote any user-generated content that you have generated as a user. By creating and distributing such content, you assert Omni Mega Supercorp that you have the necessary rights to assign such rights to such content. In the event that a user shall upload or broadcast footage of the software product in operation, content should be in good taste, ironic poor taste, semi-ironic medium poor taste, or quadruple bluffed irony such that it is accidentally earnest again. In any such recordings, you must include a reference to the software product by name, parentheses, quotations, Ledgerbound, into quotations, parentheses, and it must not imply that you are officially affiliated to Omni Mega Supercorp, unless you are, in which case you must. 9. Warranty. This product is provided on a quotation as is into quotation basis. We, Omni Mega Supercorp, cannot guarantee that the software product will function correctly, coherently, continuously, or without errors, or that the user's actions will result in a lucid, meaningful, or resonant narrative experience. Omni Mega Supercorp provides no warranty for the software product. Omni Mega Supercorp asserts that no human can really guarantee anything, and those who say that they can will only guarantee that you will have the potential to be disappointed by them. All interpersonal interaction is a tightrope, high-wire act of balancing outcome with expectation. Omni Mega Supercorp does not commit to that dangerous farce. 10. Indemnification. By installing, operating, launching, and / or licking the software product, you agree to completely indemnify Omni Mega Supercorp, its employees, contractors, army of unpaid interns, shareholders, pelican bearers, visitors of questionable intent, managers of human resources, managers of inhuman resources, burly enforcers, admirers, secret admirers, automated profit surveillance systems, fully manual profit surveillance systems, back up profit surveillance systems, motivation choirs, emotional choirs, scapegoats, actual goats, void like expanses, and directors from any and all consequences of the use, misuse, or abuse of the software product. Omni Mega Supercorp believes that this indemnification is doing you a favor. Is it ever productive to seek retribution? Do you want to be the sort of human whose life is defined by the pursuit of vengeance? That doesn't sound like it would leave much time for the enjoyment of legally licensed software products. 11. Data collection. By using the software product, you agree that Omni Mega Supercorp may collect and analyze certain data relating to you and your use of the software product. These data may include and are not limited to duration of play sessions, choices and achievements during play sessions, your career ambitions, your actual ambitions, the extent to which the two overlap, semicolon, the extent to which your actions support your ambition, semicolon, the extent to which you believe that meaningful change is possible, semicolon, the extent to which you believe decline is inevitable, semicolon, the extent to which you believe anticipation is merely a precursor to despondency, semicolon, the extent to which you believe sadness is a necessary contract and antecedent to enable the experience of joy. If you do not wish your data to be collected for such purposes, we will infer this from the data that has been collected. 12. Enforceability. In the event that a competent or incompetent authority shall declare this EULA in whole or in part to be unenforceable, it shall not be deemed to affect the enforceability of any remaining provisions in the event that any enforceable provisions remain. By fixing their mark above the undersigned attest under penalty of dragonfire per Article 7, Section 3 of the Adventure Employment Accord, that all incidents, results, and magical mishaps herein are reported to the best of one's memory and without enchantment-induced embellishment. Except. General. Ledgerbound uses Unity Analytics to collect gameplay information about your progress. This data is very helpful for balancing the game and fixing bugs, or it would be if the game was unbalanced or had any bugs. You may opt out of data collection or delete your data here. For more information, see our privacy policy. OmniMega Supercorp privacy policy. At OmniMega Supercorp, we prioritize the privacy of our players. We do not collect personal information through our game or sell personal information to third parties. This privacy policy describes how and when OmniMega Supercorp LLC, a California limited liability company, parentheses, quotations, OmniMega Supercorp, quotations, we, quotations, us, quotations, or, quotations, our, into quotations, parentheses, and our game software, parentheses, or quotations, game, into quotations, parentheses, access or collect device information, analytics data, or any other personally identifiable information that may be transmitted during gameplay. Information we do not collect. Our game does not access, store, or transmit personally identifiable information or device-specific data. We do not perform ad targeting, behavioral tracking, behavioral tracking, data mining, or any activity aimed at identifying individual users. Our game may share certain anonymized gameplay or diagnostics events to Unity Technologies, parentheses, quotations, Unity, into quotations, parentheses, through Unity Analytics. These events help us identify bugs, measure performance, and improve overall gameplay. The information obtained from this data does not include personally identifiable information such as your name, IP address, or system-level identifiers. Therefore, OmniMega Supercorp cannot link these reports back to any individual player. Unity may automatically gather limited technical information such as device type, operating system version, crash logs, or an anonymous installation identifier. This data is used solely to diagnose issues and improve the performance of our game. To understand how Unity handles this data, please review their player-facing privacy policy, https://unity.com/legal/game-player-app-user-privacy-policy. While we implement reasonable safeguards to protect the integrity of the limited technical data processed through Unity Analytics, please be aware that we do not control or manage Unity's internal data practices. While we implement reasonable safeguards to protect the integrity of the limited technical data processed through Unity Analytics, please be aware that we do not control or manage Unity's internal data practices. Although we do not collect personal information, you may still choose to opt out of data collection at any time. If you wish to request deletion of your data, you may opt-out in our game settings menu. Steam platform information. Our game is distributed through Steam, a platform operated by Valve Corporation. Steam may collect personal information or technical data as part of its normal operations, including purchase information, hardware details, use statistics, and crash logs. The information is collected and handled solely by Valve according to their own policies, which may differ from ours. We do not receive or handle any personal information Steam may collect. By downloading our game from Steam, you acknowledge that, parentheses, we are not responsible or liable for the privacy practices or operations of Steam, parentheses, semicolon, parentheses, II, parentheses, we are not liable for any disputes or concerns you have against Steam, semicolon, and, parentheses, III, parentheses, you release us from any claims related to your agreement with Steam or use of Steam. Minor privacy. Our game is intended for players aged 18 and older. We do not knowingly collect personal information from anyone under 18. If we become aware that data from a minor has been inadvertently received, we will delete it promptly. Individuals under the age of 18 should not use our game or contact us. Other applicable terms, game EULAs. Some versions of our game may include a user license agreement, quotations A, parentheses, EULA, parentheses, quotation, into quotation, parentheses, if any term in our game's EULA conflicts with this privacy policy, the EULA will take precedence. Updates to terms. We may update or revise this privacy policy as our game evolves or as our practices change. Continued use of the game after an update constitutes an exceptions of this revised policy. Policy update will apply only moving forward and will not retroactively affect prior gameplay. Governing law, this privacy policy, and any disputes arising out of it are governed by the laws of the state of California and the United States without regard to conflict-of-law provisions. Contact us if you have any questions, concerns, or requests regarding this privacy policy or data practices. Please reach out to us at @entity @omnimegasupercorp.com.